by the Verve. Such a simple song. It makes sense because it was a sample. It's based on a sample from the Rolling Stones. And as far as I recall, the Verve doesn't see any money from this song because they never got permission to use it. It's a great string sample, but in my opinion, they did something new with it. And our copyright law is not very friendly to remix culture yet. If you've never read anything from the author Lawrence Lessig, Lawrence Lessig is I think he was a lawyer that started to kind of get into copyright law, and or he might have been a professor, one or the other, or maybe both. And he helped develop this thing called Creative Commons. And we got to thank Lawrence Lessig for Creative Commons, because Creative Commons is much more friendly to transformative works. It allows for creators to also have different kinds of licenses on their work so that it could be used with permission. If you attribute the original, it could be used if it's some kind of a derivative work instead, so that it kind of sounds like it. Or, you know, there's like another form of Creative Commons where it's just like no attribution and no derivative work, and they don't allow for anything. It's kind of like all rights reserved or something like that. Or I don't know. You got to read about it. It's pretty cool. And YouTube adopts a little bit of the Creative Commons, but not all those different forms of it. But Bittersweet Symphony. Look for my, there's my tuning fork. Here's the one. So if A is here, it's a tritone. It's a D sharp or E flat. I believe Bittersweet Symphony is in E flat Mixolydian, meaning that E flat is the one, or the do, or the tonic of the song. Even though they're really just three chords that kind of cycle, one of those chords feels like the main chord, and that'd be E flat major. You can go ahead and play E flat major if you're on the guitar. It's X 4-6-6-6-4. If you just play the straight bar chord version of it. I'm gonna do fast track. And the bar chord version of it is there. It's pretty basic. And what you just do is play that chord, and that chord feels like the home. So, you know, as with a lot of these videos, it's all about music theory and ear training, because I feel like that's the best way to directly connect with the source material. You know, tabs, tutorials, sheet music, they try to bridge that gap, but they're not very successful at connecting you with the source material. They kind of give you a very superficial relationship with the source material. And so a lot of times what happens is if you get your ear involved, just kind of for that first-hand knowledge of the song, your connection with the song gets that much deeper. And with Bittersweet Symphony, a way to connect with the song is literally to just play the E flat major chord and play it at the right time that it comes in. And it comes in every 4 bars. It goes E flat, and then it goes to B flat minor, or you could use a B flat minor 7, I believe is the actual chord they use there. And then that goes to A flat sus4 to A flat. And then those are both, the A flat sus4 is a suspended chord, so it's not major or minor, but then the A flat chord is major. And so you got an E flat major to a B flat minor 7 to a A flat sus4, and to an A flat major. So those would be played very basically on the guitar as X 4 6 6 6 4 to X 4 6 4 4 4 4, and then 2 4 4 4 2 2, followed by a 2 4 4 3 2 2. And so that's how you would play those 4 chords in the song, and you just play each one for 4 counts. Or if you count slower, you can count them for 2 counts. So 1 and 2 and switch 3 and 4, and then 1 and switch again, 2, switch 3 and 4, E flat minor 7, A flat sus4, A flat, and A flat's kind of low for my range, so I go E flat, B flat minor 7, A flat sus4, A flat, and then you just play each chord for 2 slow beats, or you could count like 1 2 3 4. I don't think you would play it that fast. So yeah, it's really only 2 beats per chord, and each chord just loops after every 2 measures. The whole loop is only 2 measures long. So each chord is 2 beats there, and E flat Mixolydian simply means that E flat's the main chord, and I didn't finish my thought there. E flat is the main chord, and then you follow that chord with the chord that makes it Mixolydian, and that's the B flat minor 7. And normally in the key of E flat major, you get the chord B flat major, but in this particular case, you have a B flat minor. And yes, there's a minor 7, but the 7th of the B flat minor 7 chord is in the key of E flat, and there's no issue there. It doesn't deviate from E flat major, but there is a note in B flat minor that deviates from the kind of expected key that we get, which is the major scale. And the E flat major scale goes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Actually, what's the E flat again? I think there's the E flat. Yeah, so E flat. It goes da 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 da. It's your major scale. But in the Mixolydian scale, you got da 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 da. Is different than this note to this note. You can hear that difference there. And when you apply that to making melodies, you can da 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 da. Is a different note as well. And then you go, have you ever been down this note? You got a little bit of a bluesy influence there too in the melody. But this note. So you got that note there that makes it Mixolydian. Da, 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 da. So ba, 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 ba. It shows up again in the A flat sus4 chord. But that note is a D flat, and D flat is whatever. I don't care about D flat. I don't care about E flat. But what I do care about, and what you should care about, is that E flat is the main note, and going up 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 scale degrees away from the main note gets you the wrong note for this song. You need to go to the flat 7 to get the correct note for this song. And that flat 7, anytime you play that in a melody, it's going to be flatted instead of a natural 7 related to the E flat. So you don't play D in this song, ever. You don't play a D ever. You only play a D flat in this particular song. That's what makes it E flat Mixolydian. Now when you apply the D flat to chords, okay, you have to create chords in the key so that your melody is not just by itself floating around. Richard Ashcroft has a great bluesy rockin' melody, but you know, he'd be singing by himself if he didn't have chords coming alongside the melody, you know. And so the chords are decorating the melody, and the chords, they go E flat major to the B flat minor 7. B flat minor 7 has that D flat in it. In the key of E flat major, it would be a B flat major and you would have a D natural. But since we're in the key of E5 Mixolydian, the song is using a B flat minor chord, and a B flat minor has a D flat. So D flat, who cares about D flat?